do what you need to do to make yourselves comfortable. I've said this before, but if you have essential oils, or if you want to start trying using essential oils for the beginning of your practice, that's just a really great way to start to bring your awareness to sensation. So sensation being touch, taste, smell, sight, the feel of the air over your skin. In the case of aromatherapy, it's the smell, the sensation, perhaps the memories that those smells bring up, and also, of course, the heightened awareness that it brings to your breath. Something else, other things that you can start to bring into your practice to incorporate sensation are getting into your comfiest clothes. Finding or creating a space in your home that you begin to cultivate beauty. What would it look like to put some flowers, put some plants, light a candle? I've talked about that before. Light a candle near where you practice. Any of those things have more than zero impact, right? I think it's easy to overlook those things that have a small impact, but what is life but an experience that's made up of little moments? And so if you start to accumulate those experiences and start to accumulate those little positive markers throughout the day, you might be surprised on the impact that it has on you. And so I encourage you to start to maybe think intentionally about that if you haven't already. So for me, I've got a little essential oil spray that I made up for myself. And the way I handle my essential oil sprays is I honestly just, I have a bunch of essential oils and I pick 3. I'm going to give you a little how-to right now. I pick 3. I never do more than 3 scents, and sometimes I do fewer than that. And I usually do a citrus, a floral, and an herbal blended together. So like the citrus is a high note, the floral is the mid note, and the herbal is kind of the base note. And so today I did bergamot, which is a citrus, and patchouli, which is like the herbal one, and rose, which is floral. So that's what I'm working with right now. So go ahead and move to your mat. If you would, lie down on your back, close your eyes, take an exhale, and now inhale through the nose, breathe into the belly for 3, 2, 1, exhale, blow it out. Inhale for 3, 2, 1, exhale, blow it out. And now a quick conversation about exhales. Today, I want you to think about exhaling really forcefully. And so we're building a little bit of a fire inside. We're starting to elevate the heat in the body. And so sometimes I talk about focusing on the exhale, and that may be later on in practice. But for the beginning of our practice together this evening, I want you to think about a really forceful exhale all at once, just a, and then we're lengthening the inhale together, just to experiment with that this evening. So inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, blow it all out. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Blow it all out. Inhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Blow it all out. Inhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Blow it all out. Inhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Blow it out. Inhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Blow it out. Let's take it up one more step. Inhale, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Blow it out. Inhale, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Blow it out. All right, now let your breathing take a more natural pacing. So with your, even just the last few breaths, as you disciplined the volume of the inhale, you might notice a little bit more quality, even now at the beginning of your practice, a little bit more quality, a little bit more depth to your inhales. But just kind of notice the breath moving through your body. And as you do, expand that awareness, that sensation out to the joints. Maybe start with the big joints, the hips, the shoulders. Notice how the hips and shoulders are feeling. Maybe you do a couple little wiggles right and left on the mat. And then extend that awareness out to the more auxiliary joints. So the elbows, the knees. Kind of notice how those are feeling. And then finally extend it out to the joints that we interact with the world through. So those are the wrist ankles. Roll out the wrist, the ankles, and then bring your awareness to your neck. So just on your back, start to roll your head to the right, to the left, and just feel the mat beneath the back of your head, right? And so really even try pressing your head really hard into the mat. Really feel that support from the mat to the back of your head. And now come back to center and maybe try nodding your head up and down. It's like you're getting a little massage for the back of the head. So I came across a podcast this week that I was listening to that talked, among many things, it's with a neuroscientist who researches the impact of breath. Even was talking about like hypnosis to help sleep better. It just gave me a lot of more things to research, which I feel like that's the mark of a good podcast, is that it gives you a lot more subjects to research and get on YouTube looking up. And so, but he said something interesting that I actually posted on my Instagram today. So if you already saw it, I'm sorry, you're getting it twice. This was just an offhand comment that he made, but it stuck with me. He said, the end goal is not to not feel sad. The end goal is to feel comfortable even when you feel sad. And I heard him say that, and I was like, that is so true and so applicable to right now, to what is going on right now. And it reminds me of that, there's like this cliche that, that I feel like people threw around a lot in the 80s and 90s, which was get comfortable feeling uncomfortable. And that it's such a cliche, but the truth that is within that is that as you experiment with the edge of your comfort zone, and as you experiment with uncomfortable feelings and emotions, feelings of sadness, feelings of loneliness, feelings of hopelessness sometimes, there's a lot of opportunity now to get comfortable with those negative emotions that we would rather not deal with on a regular basis, and that frequently we will chase away with other activities that just aren't accessible to us anymore. Activities like a social life, activities like concerts and activities that maybe chase away and create some noise and some static. And so I encourage you to either over the course of this practice together this evening, and also over the course of the next week, when you notice perhaps those negative emotions rising up and bubbling up, rather than maybe immediately flipping the switch to some activity or thought process that chases that emotion away and maybe just replaces it with another experience, what would it look like to just for a few moments, I'm not saying it has to be for the whole day, but for a few moments, consciously acknowledge that you can be comfortable in the midst of those uncomfortable emotions? And what would that look like to be comfortable in the midst of uncomfortable emotions? You can start with your body. You can start with what were we just talking about, with the environment, with surrounding yourself with things that are comfortable, wearing clothes that are comfortable, burning candles, playing music, things that if you can start to explore physical comfort in the midst of uncomfortable emotions, then perhaps you can layer on top of that emotional comfort, psychological comfort, and you can start to make friends with, maybe not make friends with, but explore what it looks like to be comfortable in the midst of painful emotions. So that is what's been bouncing around for me in my head over the last few days. And that doesn't mean that I'm going to force you to hold plank for 5 minutes this evening. It doesn't mean that I'm going to create a whole theme out of discomfort. That's for Friday. But I hope that if you needed to hear that was beneficial to you. Okay, here on your back. Let's take a deep exhale. So blow all the air out of the lungs. And then inhale, reach the arms overhead toward the back, point the toes toward the front. And exhale, hug both knees to the chest, rounding the spine. Inhale to extend, reach the fingers, point the toes. Exhale, round the spine, tuck the chin to the chest. Inhale, extend, reach last time. And exhale, round the spine, and this time roll up and down the length of the spine, up to the neck, down to the tailbone, up to the neck, down to the tailbone. And then when you're ready, pause in a seated position. So we're just going to take a little pit stop in a cross-legged seated position. Lightly rest your hands on your knees. You could have your palms down or palms up. Sometimes palms up is nice because it already starts to externally rotate the shoulders, because when we flip the palms forward, even in this seated bent elbow position, it creates a subtle opening across the chest, which creates better posture for your shoulders, your upper back. So maybe try flipping the palms up and close your eyes for a moment and just start to roll the neck to the right, to the left. Drop one ear toward the shoulder and then the other ear toward the shoulder. Just take this nice and slow here. If you're anything like me, I know sometimes it's tempting to, at the beginning of practice, just immediately start to think about, okay, how can I build some heat? How can I perform and create some sort of maximal effort here at the beginning? And so if that's you, I just invite you to let go of that. Just release yourself from that and maybe explore what it looks like to just have a feel-good practice this evening. All right, and now from right to left with the neck, start to roll the chin forward. You're still going right to left toward one ear then the other, or toward one shoulder then the other, but I want you to also roll the chin forward, dropping it toward the chest, and then releasing into the right to left stretch with the neck. Nice. If you have forgotten those nice, long, slow breaths, then go ahead and come on back into that deep inhale, complete exhale. All right, and now just like a chain reaction here, I'm going to flip my palms down onto my knees just so I can support myself with my hands. Just like a chain reaction, all that rolling sensation that you were doing with your neck, can you start to create a little rolling circular sensation with your rib cage? So you might take some big circles around your tailbone. And as you draw those big circles, periodically switch directions from time to time. And if there's a point as you create that circle that kind of like feels pinchy or feels like it could bear with some exploring, then go ahead and do that. Take some organic movement here. If it would feel really nice to do some seated cat-cow, that's the one where you go forward, backward with the spine, then do that as well. I've said it before, I'll say it again. Yoga is all about listening to your body. And so I am just here making suggestions, but I don't know how you're feeling today. I know how I'm feeling today. And so there is an amount of me just suggesting things that also feel really great for me. But what is also true is that you may have been up to different things than me. And there might be some different shapes that would feel really nice for you. And so you can go there. All right, so go ahead and bring the legs around behind you, coming into tabletop. Bring your shoulders over your wrists, your hips over your knees. We're going to take some cross body movements here. So pick up the right leg, press the right heel back behind you, pick up the left arm. So inhale as you lengthen fingers to toes. Exhale, draw the knee toward the elbow. See if you can tap the knee and the elbow. Inhale to extend. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale to extend. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, extend. Tabletop on the exhale. Other side, pick up the left leg, right arm. Inhale to extend. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, extend. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, extend. Last time, knee to elbow. Inhale, extend. Tabletop on the exhale. Curl the toes under, shift the body weight back into the balls of the feet. Straighten up the elbows, activate the arms, take an inhale. And on the exhale, lift the hips, take it back to downward facing dog and start to pedal the feet right, left, right, left. Press one heel, then the other into the earth. And as always, take a downward facing dog that would feel really nice for you today. And so if you need to shorten it, if you need to lengthen the downward facing dog, then take whatever feels great for you. You can change the sensations, by the way, in downward facing dog by bringing the feet together or stepping them mat width apart. You might take a really wide downward facing dog today or some other day and just see how that changes the sensation in your inner thighs, your ankles. All right, let's flow back and forth from downward facing dog to plank. Inhale, forward to plank, top of the push up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, forward to plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Last time, inhale, forward to plank. And on the exhale, lower as slow as you possibly can. One reverse push-up. Keep the elbows close to the body. Lower all the way to the mat. Nice. Have the hands beneath the shoulders. Gazes forward. Baby cobra. Just peel the chest and shoulders off the mat. And exhale, press it back to child's pose. So for this first child's pose, big toes touching, knees nice and wide. Reach the arms forward on the mat and have the forehead on the earth. And pay special attention to that space between the shoulder blades as you're here in child's pose. So as you sink your sternum toward the earth, let your shoulder blades roll toward one another. And get a little bit of stretch in the upper back. If it is available to you, if you have a block or like the edge of a piece of furniture or something like that, I've got the couch, so you could peek up at me to see what I'm talking about. Sometimes in child's pose, it's nice to elevate the hands and create even more of a stretch here for the upper back. So if your upper back is feeling tight, or the opposite of tight, if it's feeling like it's stretched out from hunching forward all day, then child's pose or an elevated child's pose like that can be a really nice counter stretch to that. Okay, so wherever you are, come on back to the mat, press the palms into the earth, curl the toes under, take an inhale. And on the exhale, straighten the legs, lift the hips, take it back to your second downward facing dog of the day. All right, let's play with it a little bit. Take the heels up off the earth, come onto the balls of the feet as high as you possibly can, stretching the balls of the feet. Exhale, heels back down. Let's take it a little further. Inhale, heels up, bend the knees a lot. Maybe you can bring the knees to an inch off the earth. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, heels off the earth, bend the knees. Exhale, downward facing dog. Glance up at the hands, walk your feet forward to the top of the mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale to stand, sweep the arms. Exhale, pull that breath to heart center. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale to stand, sweep the arms. Exhale, pull that breath to heart center. Okay, so that was a half sun salutation. We're going to take it through a total of 5 more half sun salutations. And I want you to take these super slow, really mindfully. You're moving with your inhales and your exhales. And so from the top of the mat. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale to stand, sweep the arms. Exhale, pull that breath to heart center. That's 1. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, fold, nice and slow. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale to stand, sweep the arms. Exhale, pull that breath to heart center. That's 2. Again, inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. That's 3. So for these next 2 sun salutations, I'm not even going to cue you, although you might hear my own breath, but I want you to move at the pace of your breath. And if you get lost, you can just make it up, or you can just follow me. Here we go. And when you finish, no rush, but just pause in stillness at the top of the mat. Come back to standing. Notice your breath. Notice how even in stillness, there is movement. There's a gentle balancing, a gentle rocking of your body as your muscles naturally keep you in line, keep you balanced from right to left. And even when your muscles are still, your heartbeat, your breath, all the systems in your body working together tirelessly, never resting. That is pretty incredible. Let's take it through a full sun salutation from the top of the mat. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the mat. Take it back to plank and take it through a flow. Follow your breath. Inhale for cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. 2 breaths. Glance up at your hands and walk or step your feet forward to the top of the mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale to stand, sweep the arms. Exhale, pull that breath to heart center. Nice, so we're gonna add some lunges at this next sun salutation. Here we go, inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the earth, step it back to plank, take it through a flow. Inhale, lift the right leg, lead with the heel. Exhale, step it through next to the right thumb, lower the back knee to the earth, and go ahead and heel toe that right foot off to the right. So have both hands inside the right foot and just start by drawing some circles around that ankle with that right knee. Breathe into the right hip, right inner thigh, also the left hip flexor. All right, so go ahead and heel toe that right foot back underneath the shoulder. Engage the back foot, lift the back heel off the earth, find your balance. Inhale up to crescent lunge. All right, so we're gonna build a little bit of heat here in the quadricep here. Check in real quick, have a soft bend in the back knee, and then even though you can't see your back foot, or maybe you might want to peek back at the back foot, you want to have the back foot so engaged and energized that the heel is stacked over the ball of the foot. Sometimes in crescent lunge, we can have a tendency to almost have the heel down on the mat. I want you to really press up onto the ball of the foot, strengthen the back foot here. All right, arms overhead, take an inhale. And on the exhale, reach the arms back behind you, coming into airplane wings. Nice and long with the neck, lead with the crown of the head forward, hinging at the hip. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, airplane wing. Keep that front knee over the front ankle. Inhale, arms overhead, crescent lunge. Exhale, airplane wing. Inhale, arms overhead, crescent lunge. Warrior two on the exhale. Okay, so glance down at the feet. The front heel is in line with the arch of the back foot. Gaze is forward. Flip the right palm up. Inhale. Reverse warrior on the exhale. Inhale back to warrior two. Exhale, circle the hands to the earth. Step it back to plank. Take it through a flow, or you can skip it. We'll all meet in downward facing dog. Left side. Inhale, lift the left leg. Exhale, step it through next to the left thumb, and then heel toe that left foot off to the left. Lower the back knee to the earth. Support yourself with both hands, and introduce a little bit of movement here in this left hip, left inner thigh, right hip flexor. So you might draw little circles with the knee. Sometimes it also feels really nice to just rock the hips to the right, to the left, and just kind of see how you can pull that stretch into that right inner thigh, even back here. Check back in with your breath. Are you still pulling that long, slow breath into the belly? I keep throwing these reminders at you to encourage you to continuously cultivate the ability to pull quality breaths into your body, because eventually you're not even going to need the reminder from me. And when I do cue the breath, you'll be like, oh yeah, I was already doing that. And that's the sort of thing that you can cultivate here on the mat, and that follows you into every area of your life. Okay, we're going to come on out of it into a crescent lunge. So heel toe that left foot back underneath the left shoulder, curl the back toes under. So energize that back leg, find your balance up here in crescent lunge, arms overhead, all those are straight. Okay, so again, the back heel is right on top of the back toes. So we're really strong and flexed in that back foot. The arch of the back foot is really working, very engaged. Take an inhale. Airplane wings on the exhale. Inhale, gaze is forward, arms overhead, keep your balance. Exhale, airplane wings. Inhale. Third time, exhale. Inhale, crescent lunge. Warrior two on the exhale. So in warrior two, your back leg is straight. Your front heel is in line with the arch of the back foot. The arms are in line with shoulders. Gaze is forward. And the front knee is bent and pointing in the direction of that front foot. So you're not doing anything funky with your knee. Your knee and your left toes all facing forward. Take an inhale, flip the left palm up, reach forward. Exhale, reverse warrior, gaze goes up. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, circle the hands. Take it through a flow. All right, let's inhale, lift the right leg. And exhale, step it through next to the right thumb. Go ahead and rise all the way up to crescent right out of the bat, right off the bat. And exhale into warrior two. Now straighten the right front leg, pivot on the right heel. So all 10 toes are facing the left side of your mat. I'm gonna turn around. So the left side of your mat, arms are out shoulder level, take an inhale. And on the exhale, hinge forward and down over the legs and walk your hands. You can either walk your hands back in line with your feet, or sometimes it feels really nice to walk the hands forward and away from my legs, coming into, it's like downward facing dog with the upper body and a wide leg fold with the legs. So maybe you might explore that. And breathe. Okay, so before we come out of this, I want you to start to bend into that right leg, and you might bring the right heel in toward the midline just a little bit, so you're pivoting out into kind of a squat stance on the right foot. And now you can support yourself with your hands on the mat. So it's kind of a side lunge. Okay, so this might be option one. If this feels pretty good and you feel like you could go further or you could explore a little bit more, then bring your attention to your left foot, straighten out the left leg, and pivot on the left heel so that the toes are flexed and pointing toward the sky. Okay, so this might be option two. Hanging out here for a few breaths, breathe into that right hip. And now we're going to come out of it and we're going to go into it on the other side. So just come out of it the way you came into it, back to a wide leg fold, and then walk your hands over to your left leg. Hunker down into that low squat. Do keep the heel on the ground, all right? And then you're either on your right foot or you're trying that rotation of the toes toward the sky. And breathe. I have heard this called ninja pose. I don't know if that is the official name for it. Doesn't seem like it. All right, let's go ahead and press back up out of this the way we came into it, back into a wide leg fold. Bring your hands to your hips, fire up the core, press back up to standing. I'm going to turn back around so that I don't get confused. Repivot on that front heel, so the right toes pointing toward the front of the mat again. Inhale, arms out shoulder level, rebend that front knee, take an inhale. Exhale, circle the hands to the earth, step it back to plank, take it through a flow. Left leg, inhale. Exhale, step it through. Crescent lunge on the inhale. Warrior two on the exhale. Nice, now straighten the left front leg, pivot on the left heel. And now this time, we're gonna get a little stretch across our shoulders. So Interlace your hands behind your back, roll the shoulders together behind the back. This may be enough of a shoulder stretch for you. And if so, then you can hang out here. If you want to try hinging forward any amount and also pulling the stretch into the inner thighs and floating the hands toward the sky until gravity perhaps takes over and starts to pull your hands up and over behind your head. Remember to breathe. Okay, bring the hands back to the low back, unclasp the hands, and we're going to explore that little side to side ninja stretch again, except this time we're going to add one more level to it if you would like to explore that. Obviously, that's optional. Okay, so start by bending into the right leg. Keep your heel down, all right? So that's the key here is we're building, it's really a squat with the right leg, right? Because your knee is bent, your hip is below the level of the knee, your heel is down, so it's a nice strong position for you to put your body weight on. And now if level 1 felt great last time and you want to try going into level 2, you're rotating the toes toward the sky. All right, now level 3 starts to take a little bit even more ankle mobility. Try planting the right hand on the earth and then reach the left fingertips up toward the sky. Gaze goes up, and so we're implementing a little bit of stretch in the side body, a little bit of twist in the upper back. Remember to breathe. And now go ahead and slowly float the left hand back down. Come on out of it the way you came into it, and we're going to go right over to the other side, bend into the left leg. If that feels pretty good and you've got the heel down, roll the right toes up toward the sky. So I find that something that helps me stay balanced in this pose is to really bring the shoulder inside of that right knee. I think that helps because my center of gravity in this case is a little bit further back toward my glutes. And so I counterbalance by leaning my upper body forward. It's all just based on your anatomy, honestly. Plant your left hand on the earth, reach the right fingertips up toward the sky. Open up the side body, don't forget to breathe. And then go ahead and come on out of it. Your legs might need a little shake. So maybe straighten out the knees, give them a little shake. Bring the hands to the hips, press all the way up. Nice. All right, pivot on the left heel again. Inhale, arms out, shoulder level, warrior 2. Exhale, circle the hands to the earth, step it back to plank, take it through a flow. So let's go ahead and sink it down to child's pose. That would feel really nice right about now. So we did some nice work on the inner thighs and kind of getting around to the hamstrings. And I also want to focus on our quadriceps this evening. And so we're going to take it into a lunge and add a little twist to it and bend the back knee. I'll talk us through all of it. That's going to feel really nice. All right, so from child's pose, reach the hands forward, press the palms into the earth, take an inhale. And on the exhale, take it back to child's pose. Or not child's pose, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the right leg. And on the exhale, step it through outside the right pinky. So pretty wide, maybe even off the mat. Lower the back knee to the earth. All right, so hang out here for a few breaths. Getting really low into that right hip here. This is a pretty similar orientation to that ninja stretch, except now you don't have to worry about keeping your balance. All right, so have the left hand beneath the left shoulder, and inhale, reach the right fingertips toward the sky. And if you want to try dropping the right arm around behind the back, around the backside waist, that just kind of helps bring the upper back into this twist and just brings the shoulder into the twist too. And breathe. Okay, so you might just hang out here. If this feels pretty good and you think you know where we're going, you might try bending the back knee and presenting that back foot, your back left foot, to perhaps grab hold of it with the right hand. Breathe into that left hip flexor, left quadricep. Pretty intense stretch here. If it is uncomfortable, this is your opportunity to maybe get really curious about that discomfort and ask yourself, is it uncomfortable because I don't like the sensation of stretching, or is it uncomfortable because I actually think I might hurt myself, right? Because there's different kinds of discomfort. And when we put ourselves in shapes that bring up discomfort, it teaches us to be wise about what our limits are and to know the difference between something that is a catastrophe and something that is maybe just complaining a little bit. And only you can be the judge of that. Maybe take a moment to scan the rest of the body and take out any tension, any gripping that you may be unnecessarily doing in your jaw, your neck. Maybe you're holding your breath. Okay, we're going to slowly come on out of this any way that's comfortable for you. Take it right back. Take it right back to downward facing dog. All right, we're going to go right into it on the other side. Inhale, lift the left leg. Exhale, step it through outside the left pinky, lower the back knee to the earth. And hang out here for a few breaths, getting nice and comfortable, familiarizing yourself with the stretch on this side. And if you want to try taking it to the same depth that you did on the other side, have the right hand beneath the right shoulder to support your upper body. Inhale, reach the left fingertips up toward the sky, and then maybe find that wrap around the backside waist. And after a couple breaths here, maybe try bending that back knee and presenting that back foot to grab hold of with your left hand. It's usually pretty intense in the beginning, but as you breathe, particularly as you exhale, you might find a level of comfort. And slowly begin to unwind. Reach the left fingertips back up toward the sky and come on out of it any way that's comfortable for you. My microphone died. I think you can still hear me though.
Let me know if you can't hear me. All right, so in tabletop, take it through a few rounds of cat-cow here. Inhale as you lengthen the sternum forward. Exhale as you round the spine. Now go ahead and bring the legs around in front of you. We're going to slow it down with some floor stretching. Starting with figure four, reclined figure four. So go ahead and lay back, cross the right ankle over the left knee, and as you pull the left knee towards your face, press the right knee away from you, finding a little rotation in that outer hip. Nice deep breaths. And now keep hold of this right ankle over the left knee, because we're going to take this same structure that you've created with your legs and we're going to turn it into a twist. And this can get pretty intense on the low back. And so if this bothers like your sciatic nerve or anything like that, then just turn it into a regular twist. This could, I have found that this sometimes bothers my sciatic nerve, and sometimes it's exactly what I needed. And so depending on how much inflammation you have, it could be very helpful, or it could not feel so great this evening. So have the right ankle crossed over the left knee, and what you're going to do is you're just going to lower the left knee down onto the earth until the right foot makes contact with the earth. And then what I like to do is I like to take my free hand and support the knee in this twist. And so what's happening is my legs are going to the left. I can turn your gaze to your right. And so it is a little bit of a twist, but it particularly pays attention to the low back here, because you've got this external rotation in the hip. All right, now slowly release and bring it back to center. And before we just go right into it on the other side, start by pinwheeling the legs. So step your feet pretty wide on the mat, bend the knees, and just start to pinwheel the legs to the right, to the left. So this is just re-neutralizing your hips and the pelvis. Okay, now we're going to go right into a figure four first. So cross the left ankle over the right knee and pull the right knee toward the face. Now we're going to take that same low back twist that we took on the other side. And so keeping this same little structure that you've created with your left ankle crossing over the right, go ahead and lower the right knee down onto the earth and the sole of the left foot. And then using your free hand, you can support that knee into a little rotation into the outer hip that comes up into the low back. And breathe. And then slowly release. And just bring it back to center and gently hug both knees to the chest, just to neutralize the low back again. Maybe roll side to side, one last gentle stretch for the low back. And if that feels really good and you want to take it one step further, then you might pull the knees wide and then reach for the outsides of the feet, coming into happy baby. I like to roll side to side when I'm in happy baby, just kind of explore that new openness and flexibility in the hips. Maybe kick one leg straight, kick the other leg straight, kick both legs straight. All right, you can inhale. And on the exhale, slowly release the arms, the legs, the shoulders, the hips, the ankles, the toes, the neck, the belly. And allow the only movement in your body to be the rise and fall of your breath. Shavasana. And slowly begin to reawaken the body. Wiggle the fingers, the toes, roll out the wrists, the ankles. Reach the arms overhead toward the back, point the toes toward the front, and take a deep breath and a full body stretch from fingers to toes and everything in between. And on the exhale, roll over to one side. And then when you're ready, press the floor away, make your way back up to a comfortable seated position, whatever that looks like for you. Close your eyes when you get there. Maybe notice the new sensations in your body, the new sensations in your breath. It is always amazing to me, no matter how many practices I do, no matter how many shavasanas I come out of. It is worth remembering and worth pausing for a moment to appreciate that these changes in sensation in your body and sensation in your breath and even the changes in your mental state, in the way you're feeling at this particular moment, that all came about because of things you did with your breath and your body. It didn't occur because of some expensive treatment that you did or because of a substance. It's because of your breath and because of movement. And that is powerful because that's something that no one can ever take away from you. And it's free. And it is always available to you. On the next inhale, sweep the arms overhead. Exhale, pull that breath to heart center. Thank you for allowing me to guide you through your practice. Have a beautiful day. Namaste.